Go. Well, thank you for coming back and visiting us while we're going to now calibrate the power shot we just assembled on the first video. On this time here, we've got it set up on a calibration bench. You don't have to have this bench to do it. It just makes it good for production use. But at this point, I'm going to demonstrate of what the power shot is capable of doing, and then I'll show you how to set the calibration. What we have here is just an air source. This could be propane. We're using compressed air. Here we've taken a regulator, and this gives us a port and a hose that we can adjust and simulate boost pressure. That's all this is doing. I can do it with this device, which we use for calibrating lots of units, or in the field we like to use a handheld Mighty Vac pump. Now this is a pressure and a vacuum pump. It has a switch on the side of it to go from vacuum to pressure. Not all of these have this. This end that comes with a Mighty Vac pump is a separate piece that you can purchase from Mighty Vac or through your auto parts store. So we can set this up right now to give us pressure, turn the valve, and now it gives us vacuum. Everything that we'll do on this unit will be pressure, not vacuum. So if I wanted to, instead of using this pressure source, this could be propane. This could be a propane tank we're hooked to. Instead we're air again. I'm going to go to the bottom of the power shot, and I can simulate boost pressure by using this pump, the same as your engine produces boost pressure. This port does not use any propane. It's only sensing pressure, but there's no loss of air. Here will be propane delivery line. This line will have a hose going back to just in front of the turbocharger. This is boost pressure coming off the engine. So we'll turn on our air, and at this point we have no pressure at all on it. And if I start to increase pressure, you can probably hear the propane starting to run at this area. I have the calibrating line off of it so I can hear what we call our start time. Right now this unit has about a 2 pound of pressure start time. 2 pounds of pressure, and I'm going to set this up on another gauge other than using this hand one so you people can also see what we're seeing for pressure. Stop it for a second. Okay, well thank you for being patient with us. We just made a change so I can hook one of the bigger gauges up so you can see very easy instead of trying to look on the handheld pump. So this is what we normally use in the shop for calibrating units in production. So at this point, what I can demonstrate to you is start time. If you watch the gauge, and you can listen for the propane if you can hear it in the background. And I've applied 2 pounds of pressure, and I'm starting to use propane. As I increase the pressure, now we're up to 5 pounds, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and as you can clearly see, the power shot delivers more and more propane as you increase the air pressure to the bottom of it. Well, that's for a 2 pound start time. In some applications, we want to have higher start times. We'll call it a 5 pound start time. So I simply go to this knob. It says start time right on the top of it, high and low. You'll need a 7/8 and a 1-inch wrench to make this adjustment. At this point, it's still loose, so it can be adjusted with your fingers. What you would do is apply 5 pounds of air pressure. As you can see here, we have 5 pounds. Now we can turn this valve, and I can stop that flow of propane altogether, where it's not flowing at all. Actually, I'll need to take it up to 7 to get it to flow. But if I want a 5 pound start time, I set it at 5 pounds of pressure. And then I back, I've already taken it, I had it shut off. Now I'm backing off on it, taking spring pressure off, and you can clearly hear the propane is starting to flow again. We're going to call that our start time, 5 pound start time. We're happy there. I think if I run this and tighten down the assembly, and that will be the end of adjusting start time. And it's locked down. We're no longer turn with your hands. It is done. We can shut off the propane, and our flow has stopped completely. Bring the pressure back up. At 5 pounds, it is flowing again. And as you can see, if I increase the pressure, now we're at 10 pounds. We've increased our flow. Take it up to 15, more flow, 20, more flow. The flow meter over here is showing us 3.5 CFM at 20 pounds of boost. So when we say that the valve has a 5-pound start time and it flows 3 CFM at 20, that means we apply 20 pounds of boost pressure, simulating, or 20 pounds of air pressure, simulating boost pressure. Of course, you won't have the luxury of having a flow bench. You'll be doing it with a handheld, but it's still very easy to do. So at this point, I'll drop the pressure back down. I've got a calibrator here on the wall. This one is calibration 1 CFM to 7 CFM. We've also taken in consideration the length of hose that will be used on the vehicle. We have 25 feet of hose wrapped up here because that will change the amount of propane being delivered. We want to be very accurate, so we put it back in the same amount of hose that you'll be having, or very close, through the flow meter. And I have one hose right here that just connects to the bottom of the flow meter. Now, to know how much flow that we're going to get, I'm going to put this on the end, on the outlet line. This would be propane delivery to your airbox, but you'll have the hose off of it. And for your purpose of checking start time, you'll have it off. Now, if I am setting this unit up, we have a 5-pound start time. That's where we left it at. So that means she starts to flow propane at 5. And we're just coming. Okay, we're back. We have set a 5-pound start time on this unit, and we know that as we bring up the pressure, you see 5 pounds. You can come back here, and this is where the hose exits. You can feel she's starting to flow. That was the reason we left the calibrator off of it for setting start time, so it's very easy to tell when it's flowing propane. We're just starting to lift. There's a little weight in here that shows how much propane will be flowing for how much pressure. Hopefully you can see this, but as I increase the pressure, I'm increasing the volume of propane coming out, being delivered. We've got 30 pounds of boost on it. We're delivering 3.75 CFM of propane at 30 pounds of boost. That'd probably be equal to wide open throttle. As we decrease from there, now we're at 15 pounds of boost. At 15 pounds of boost, we've got 2.75 CFM being delivered. Now, before we left, we have a fuel screw showing how much fuel this is going to deliver. This is what does it. It's on the front of the unit. There's a plus and a minus, and this is how we adjust how much propane we're going to deliver. So we're going to say we're taking our motor back up to 20 pounds of boost. So we have 20 pounds of air pressure or 20 pounds of boost pressure, depending if it's the truck doing it or you're doing it by here. And now if I turn this screw in, and you can see this calibrator up here, as I get into the range, all of a sudden it'll start dropping off. How much propane can I take out of this? As you can see, we still have 20 pounds, but my delivery has gone right away. I'm down to 1 CFM. I'm shut right off. A simple, for an idea, with 20 pounds of boost pressure, and we open this thing up, I believe it's 2 turns, and that should be 2.75, which it is. That's a real standard calibration for us, 2 turns out on this new fine control circuit. So we're going to go back, and these units going out to Australia, at 20 pounds of boost, we're going to allow it to have 2 CFM. So I've closed it. I'm going to go back. I'm going to raise that to, it says 2 CFM of flow. Up here you can feel the air flowing. Here you can watch what's being delivered. I take and I'll lock that down. Now I'm coming back, and I'll drop my air pressure or boost pressure that's connected to the bottom of the power shot. And as we drop it, so does the amount of propane being delivered. This is delivery. This is boost pressure. So as I drop my boost pressure, when I hit 5, lo and behold, it's shut right back off again. It's not flowing anything. And as we increase our pressure, there's our 5. We just started to lift our little float. And if we take her back up 20 pounds of pressure, we're back to 2 CFM again. If I took the motor higher from, say, 20 to 30 pounds of boost pressure, now we're at 30. That same calibration is now flowing 2.75, almost 3 CFM a minute. So as you can see, if you increase the boost pressure, it will change the amount of propane being delivered for any one calibration. So that should take us through calibration video. Thank you for joining us and have a great day.